Hello, and here we go again. And Anken, we're going to do this in a more relaxed environment now, I think. I'm going to close my eyes and talk to you and imagine sitting in the front room.
Shall we turn off the lights then?
Let's get intimate now, shall we?
Let's get intimate now. Okay, guys, I'm out of here.
And let's if you are tuned into this, you have a listen to this, then, you can eavesdrop. We don't mind you eavesdropping. Human beings, I was just thinking about humans, how we're all the same in the sense that we all have a heartbeat, we need blood to survive, yet we all have different perceptions on people. Why is it some people seem to ooze more confidence than others? And if I asked you to tell me, how do you feel about you? Can you explain you to me? You're a confident person. You come across as being confident.
Thank you.
Okay.
I take that as a compliment.
Please, it is. Do you worry about how you're going to act, how you're going to look, what you're going to say?
Not really.
No. Why is it some people have this confidence and other
Fear
people
of judgment.
Fear of judgment.
Yeah,
Okay.
fear of judgment of the other. And the other, in that sense, is actually yourself, because you most certainly fear being perceived in a certain way that you wouldn't like.
Imagine you look stupid to somebody else, for instance.
You fear being perceived in a sense that you wouldn't like, that you would look down upon. You would judge yourself. Judgment comes from inside, and
But maybe not
that's what you fear.
Maybe not everybody has this judgment. What's that line that can actually separate judging yourself to actually liking yourself?
You may think you like yourself, but if you fear the judgment of others, this means you're judging yourself because you're judging others. If you judge others by their looks, by their behavior, you definitely are open to being judged yourself in the same context.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Because what you give out is what comes back to you. That's what's called karma.
Yeah.
And it's only a bitch if you are. That's exactly it. If you judge others based on face value, you are to be judged on the same values. It's not caring about what others think. It's not caring about what anyone else thinks. It's not thinking. I don't care. But it's not because I don't give a shit. It's because I'm carefree.
Yeah.
I would give a shit if someone misunderstood me, because then it would mean that I am misunderstood. Not that it would mean something bad, but why would there be a misunderstanding when everything can go well?
Maybe it's not confidence.
It all stems from one place. The source.
Your upbringing, maybe.
No, yourself. The source is you, and you are the source of all. In your own universe, you are the center of that universe.
Yeah.
Everything is just a projection of yourself in the outside world. Or is it in your head? Is the whole universe in your head and you're just perceiving things there? Are you just a brain in a jar? These ideas or these fantasies have all been dealt with duly, accordingly,
Absolutely.
in their own time. But think about it this way. What is confidence?
What is confidence?
What is confidence? Is it something, or is it the lack of something else?
Maybe it could be a lack of something else, maybe.
There is no lack of anything. There's only being. There's only existence. When you talk about lack of something, you're just insinuating and making the existence of that thing possible. Just like lack of judgment makes judgment for you in the first place, and then you think about it not being existing. Why do you take the highway? Why do you take the wrong... It's not the wrong way, it's the long way.
Yeah.
Just think about being open, clear, and transparent. That's how you release judgment.
But there's a lot of people who go to pieces when let's say they're with somebody...
You sound like a guy that goes to a doctor and says... Okay, there's a friend of mine.
No, because
we are all human beings, and we have that quality in each of us. I went through a phase in my life where I was scared of what others would think of me, because I didn't know what I was thinking of myself.
Do you have to find yourself first? Is it something deeper to this?
You don't find yourself. This is what makes people have a wrong opinion about finding, because you just are aware of yourself, more aware of yourself. You just realize that you always been there. There is where you are, because you don't find yourself. When you don't go to a place and find yourself. Just like ascension process in spirituality, you don't ascend to anywhere. You don't go anywhere. Your heaven, your hell is always here wherever you are. Your consciousness is the center of all being. Everything else that you think that exists outside of yourself is you. You are the one that perceives. You are the one that interprets every single bit of data. That's why you are all. I am all. And I am is all that is.
Yeah, but I think there's some people like in the world who, a lot of people in the world who are very much all, and there's some people who just maybe don't find themselves until maybe too late or never find themselves. I know quite a few people who are very, they lack confidence, absolutely lack confidence. When they're in a crowd, they tend to put on this
Mask.
Absolutely, they become loud and brash, and this
is
to be
a facade.
way. And while they're in that mode, this is the great. Hey, hi, how's it go? Oh, yeah, and you think, wow, you've changed. It's not you. But people tend to do this to maybe compensate for the fact that they haven't got the confidence.
It's called compensation.
It's like being. I don't know. It's just like pretending to be something you're not. And the same person, once they're out of that situation, they're like lack confidence in every aspect of life. Talking to people,
That's all I can say to that. Yes. Whatever I say is going to be speculation.
Sure.
It's not going to bring any light to anything.
No, sure, but
it's always perfect.
If you want to be crazy and you want to sound outlandish and brash because it makes you think, oh, everyone's now accepting me.
You're still thinking on the terms of acting or movement or facade, physicality outside. Think about it in the source, in where it comes from. Everything else is just going to be a representation of what's in there.
Maybe people do this because they feel this is how they want to be, but this is their real inner self. But it doesn't always come out. It doesn't always come out, does it?
So, what do we do in this situation? Nothing.
We just I knew you were going to say that. By the look on your face. Okay.
We just accept it because there is no way that you cannot accept this. You can, of course, resist to it. But then what do you get? Resistance. Resistance is futile. Why? Because it doesn't lead you anywhere. You're still you. You're just dealing with outside when you could always be dealing with inside. Why do you care about how people act in a crowd?
I don't particularly care how people act, but
why did you bring it up?
Well, these are people who I know. There's one or two people who I know aren't like this.
Why are you annoyed or...
No, not annoyed. I'm just...
Why are you triggered by this situation?
Because when it happens, I think, wow, that's quite interesting to see, because this person's kind of meek and mild and they don't really like to mix. But when they have to mix, when they're forced into a situation...
You're still talking about events. Let's not talk about events. Let's not talk about happenings. Let's not talk about what happens. Because, the three distinctions of people, people are in two categories. Let's say three categories. The ones that can count, the ones that can't count. You see that?
Yeah, okay.
Three categories of people.
Yeah.
People who deal with happenings, events. People who deal with people. People who deal with ideas. Let's talk about ideas. Let's leave all those people and what they do aside. Why did you feel the urge to bring this up?
Because I've often wondered if when people seem to want to change their persona in a situation, is this their inner self really wanting to come out? And for some reason, when they're locked away from a social event, they're very meek and very quiet. They just seem to be like a different animal when they mix with people. I often wonder why, what triggers people to want to be kind of outlandish and
why don't you do it? You don't feel the need.
Yeah.
Why don't you feel the need? Because you're fine with yourself.
Yeah.
You're in terms with yourself. You accept yourself as you are. That's why it's not even acceptance. It's you like yourself as you are.
You just get along with yourself, don't you?
You get along with yourself, so you don't feel the need to act out some other persona, some part, a role in a crowd. So you just don't do it. Mm-hmm. Take the opposite of it. That's your explanation to those people. Why do they have it? The same reason why you don't have it. Why do you have it?
Why do I have it?
Yeah. Why do you have confidence? Why do you have confidence? Because you do.
It's there.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
And in them, it's not there. Will it make it any easier for you to accept if you knew exactly why they did something like that?
Maybe it would make it more easy to accept if you understood why they don't have the confidence.
Why do you have it?
I don't know.
Once you explain why you have it, you will explain why
they haven't got it. Yeah.
Remember that in the beginning of this conversation, I told you lack of something is the long way. Try to explain the existence of something, then you just negate it and you get the lack of it. Yeah. Explain why you have confidence. There you have your answer for why some people do not have confidence.
You made the point.
Thank you.
Can I talk to you about this?
No.
Okay, don't listen. Right. What happened to me, I was in a place called Event yesterday, and I was in an area that I was very not used to. I hadn't been there before, and I stood there for a couple of seconds. I know I've never been there before. I've never seen the buildings or anything before, but I just felt I know this area. I know this place.
I feel the need to tell you that I don't want to talk about deja vu.
You don't want to.
I don't know why, but there's a resistance in me that doesn't want to talk about deja vu because I don't know anything about it. It just is. There are some speculations that I read. You have a feeling that you might have had this exact moment in your life before.
Yeah.
But why? I don't know. I have no answer to that. That's why I don't want to talk about it. It's just like football. I don't know anything about football. That's why I don't talk about football.
There was something about this on the Matrix, wasn't there?
Yeah, of course. You know.
Was that the phone?
Yeah. You see.
It's come to interrupt. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
This is called manifestation.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't know why, but I don't want to. That's why I don't do it.
Okay.
I just am acceptance with it.
Okay, what should we do?
It happens. Deja vu is usually a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something. This is a line from the Matrix, the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but it stuck with me. Maybe it's because I watched the movie 12 times, but
That could be a very good reason why it stuck with you then, couldn't it?
I know many of the parts of the movie by heart. You know, I can, tell it while it happens.
You could reenact it, couldn't you?
Yeah.
I suppose.
By many other actors.
No, this deja vu thing. I'm going to tell you something that I used to sort of think was the reason for this deja vu, and I'm sure it's a load of rubbish, but I'll go with it. When I was younger, I used to think deja vu. You believe you've been somewhere before, you've seen something, and you haven't, and you know you haven't. Now, when you're a child, when you're 0 to maybe 4, 5 years of age, you don't have a lot of recollection as you get older. Well, I certainly don't. And do you remember much from when you were 5 back? No, most people don't. Maybe you have been taken to a place which resembles that, and it's kind of there in your head, and and you're just in that situation, that moment, that second where bang, and you think, I've seen this somewhere before. Maybe that's the reason why.
Yeah, maybe that is.
Maybe, and again, and another reason I used to think is because we are all passed. The DNA in our bloodline is passed down to us, obviously, and we pass it on. It carries on. Maybe this is something which someone else in our past, in our family, have experienced, and
Maybe.
and it could be in there.
Yes.
Yeah. I just wanted to get that off my chest
How does it
because no, I feel good now. I feel good about
Great.
it.
And we're still talking about a subject that I said I didn't want to talk about.
I know you see. I've got you still talking about it. No, fair comment. Okay, so I know you don't know much. I don't know nothing about it, but you know more than me in these situations. So yes,
not
you do.
always.
You know a lot.
I always tell you the sources to read, and you don't read at all.
Well, I'm asking you because I know you do read them. That's why. So okay, so we were talking.
Okay,
about...
I'll give you another clue about why we might have those reoccurring feelings.
Right.
Did you read The Synchronicity Key by David
I've
Wilcock?
not all of it, but I've got nearly halfway through it.
Nearly halfway.
Nearly halfway through it.
So
I've read
you
bit by bit.
you are familiar with the idea of cyclical time.
Yeah.
It may be that.
Yeah. It's just come round again.
Yeah, because there's only one time,
Yes.
and it's now. What if you have been in that situation and you don't remember it?
Exactly. Yeah.
What if you haven't been in that situation and you remember it? What the fuck? That's a mind
that's
job.
It's a bit dodgy, that one, isn't it? I can go with the first one. I can go with the one you've been there before and it's come round again. Because doesn't everything in life do that? I mean, everything we do, the way you look at styles, you look at clothes, the way we are, the way we act, everything goes on in the cycle. Everything goes in a cycle.
Alphabet is a technology, right?
Yeah.
Alphabet is a
Absolutely.
technology in our modern sense does not make sense when you talk about alphabet or abacus being
Sure, yeah.
and technology, a technique.
Yeah.
How many letters in the alphabet? It changes in many
Sure.
languages.
26 in the English.
29 in Turkish.
Yeah.
A combination, a permutation and combination of all those letters. Not all of them make sense. Most of them do. And those combinations of words have been around for, as long as the language
Yeah,
has.
sure, yeah.
The meaning has been around more than the word itself. The sound may be more than the word itself. Sound is coupled with the meaning and it becomes a word. You use the technology of the alphabet to
produce that.
produce that, to express that.
Yeah.
And it's not unique to you. It is unique to the situation. It is unique to the now. It is time stamped. You see where I'm getting
Yeah, I
at?
see where you're getting. Yeah.
Every experience is time stamped. That's why it is unique. That's why there is time. That's why when you feel that you have been there before or you will be there again, It's the same. The timestamps matter. Not that you have been there, because everyone has on this planet until now experienced one breath, right?
Right.
And did it countless times.
Yes.
It is effortless.
The cycle that goes on.
It just is. You just breathe, because once you stop breathing, you die. Does it really occur to you that I have taken this breath before? No. Why? Because it's always there.
It's always there, yeah.
And that breath is the most important thing in your life, because it's your life.
And the deja vu thing has just been stamped deja vu. This is just something which is going to come around. Sometimes you remember it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it stands out, sometimes it doesn't. You know?
There are two options here. You've been there before, you don't remember it. You haven't been there before, and you remember it.
Yeah.
And the second option is more interesting to me.
Much more interesting. Well, because the first is more logical, isn't it?
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Because in that situation, you're exactly remembering something that isn't. You haven't been there, but you remember it.
Yeah.
That's called a deja vu. That's more interesting to say when I say it out loud in that way, because it's time-stamped.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at it from a different perspective. Everything is perspective.
Yeah.
Everything is understanding. Remember all these words that
I do,
you know?
indeed, yeah.
We don't ascend to anywhere. We don't change anything. We don't transform. We don't do anything. We just have the shift in our own spot. Once you have that click, your understanding shifts and you know the answer to the universe. What changes?
Nothing changes, no.
Because you are the only one that has had that realization.
Yeah.
We still have that I do have that realization. Does it change my life? Yes. Does it change my life? No. In ways that I would want it to? Maybe.
It does, and the ways you don't want it to, it doesn't.
4 or 5 shows later, in not more than 5, let's say 8 to make it count exactly the same. We will have gone through one of the most important times all of humanity has ever had on this planet. This planet has ever had. It's happening now.
Yeah.
Why are we having these insights, these understanding shifts, these realizations, these aha moments? Jason Silva calls them the aha moments.
Yeah.
And I call them what the fuck moments. Because it's just a click. And that click, once it's clicked,
It's a stamp.
it's a stamp.
Yeah.
You realize that, it's there.
Yeah.
I was having this insight about how we download stuff. Literally. Download a movie, download a song, download a book, download whatever, download a picture. It's there on the internet, right?
Yep.
You watch it, you take it. How is it reconfigured, recreated in your computer? Is it taken apart piece by piece and created?
It's layered again when it comes back in. So maybe it is taken apart and then transferred, then put back together. I would imagine.
Does the original go anywhere?
No.
Download is just an expression, a manifestation of the original in your own understanding, in your own computer, and it's how fast you process incoming data. It's your bandwidth, your internet connection speed that enables you to create the existing data faster. What is it created from? A combination of computing, calculations.
Yeah, binary code, yeah.
It's binary code. It's the DNA is the binary code.
Yeah.
What is DNA? The fabric that we are built upon. Images, files, whatever is in your computer is binary code, 1 and 0. The containers make them look like something, sound like something, move. .jpeg, .mp3, .mov, .avi, .com. What comes after that dot? It gives meaning to it. It's the language that you interpret. Your computer interprets it for you because it's a pile of ones and zeros.
Yeah.
If you change the extension of a file, your computer is not able to read it anymore because you say that interpret or translate this pile of shit to me in JPEG, in picture format.
Yeah.
When you download something, you are literally recreating it in your own computer. When you understand something, you are literally creating that in your own understanding, that place where it doesn't exist in the physicality, but in your mental or spiritual realm, it does. And that's your intellect.
Yeah.
And this whole process has always been there. Did you think about it? No. But you were thinking about how people act in certain kind of situations.
It's there. You take it for granted, don't you? It's there.
For any question that ever comes to your mind and my mind.
Same process.
I am time